the 2021 Fandom Fights Summer Series Tournament.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun in the tournament. And again, the Kingsmen will all into the tournament, and the same people that win the tournament every year will be the same people because the first order wins the Fandom tournament every year. So,
Antonio.
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
We'll go to Tim first.
Star Wars Episode 8, Velasquez.
I said Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master.
And your winner, Tyler Butler, Mark Menchaca, Antonio Chavez, Jake Marangoni,
Tim the Hulk Brzakala.
Look, we have the biggest roster of talented people that we've ever had in the history of the Kingsmen. You got Joe Barely, you got Cameron Holtzman, you got Kaleb Boatman, you got Thomas Scully, you got everyone in this faction. And we're all here with one goal: take the belt from Tui.
And this just means Scully gets to go into this tournament, beat a lot of people, and we'll come right back. Right. And Mayhem will be Scully 2-4, and we'll see if we win it this time.
we will see you in the tournament. Is there anybody that you hope to kind of like meet up with in the tournament? Is there anybody? I know last time you didn't know a lot of names or anything. Have you brushed up on anything? You know anybody you want to play?
There's a few people, but honestly, the only people I know are really, really good, so I don't really know if I want to meet them. I'm going to be meeting them anyway, because I'm playing, the second-ranked person.
We'll be playing the number 2 seed.
Your winner by way of knockout, hey, the Hurricane McMillan. It is Jerry Goldsmith, another knockout for Kay McMillan this season. He is terrifying with the plug-in.
We're back to the workout room, got a fucking Rocky montage away to get away with the tournament.
Reality can do whatever I want.
Fantastic beasts and where to find them. Gotham City?
Is it Sam Smith?
Capture the flag.
Because you know what's the most important thing to me, and that's that I make sure that this match is one of the most entertaining matches that you will ever see. Because I do it all for you. People.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fandom Fights. I am your host. I think that's how it usually goes when I start a Fandom Fights video.
Yeah.
I'm your host. This time I won't, just to say the rules for round 3 during the middle of round 1, but that's coming very soon. Welcome to the 2021 Fandom Fights Summer Series breakdown. We got the gang here to break it down and talk about it. Koho, if you could man the chat during this.
Absolutely.
Any questions that pop up. We're going to answer questions at the end, but if there's anything pertinent to what we're talking about, we will talk about it at the moment. But yeah, like always, we're going to break down the tournament, what's going to be happening in round 1, what some potential things are going to maybe happen in the tournament. Obviously, we're not stupid. A lot of you know that we've already started filming the tournament.
Yes.
If something like that has happened, please, and you've played a match or you know something, please keep it this spoiler free. Don't spoil anything. The tournament will begin this Saturday. So we're getting there. Here with me today, Mr. Nick Twohig. Nick, how are you?
Doing well, Timothy. Thank you for having me. Very tired from these recent defenses because those were recent, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a few days ago, we totally
this happened. I'm tired. I'm recovering.
That's fair. And Kaleb, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's my favorite time of year. I love the Summer Series tournament. It's my favorite thing we do every year. And to do 32 people again, it's going to be so fun. I'm super excited for this.
32 people, and the matches will come out on time. So
yeah, they will.
Very exciting.
Yeah, they will.
It's going to be very exciting. Get some busy work out of the way first. So the first round of the tournament, like we said, 32 people, 16 matches. That's the correct math. Yes,
sir.
I'm good at math. 16 matches. Those matches are going to be coming out. We're going to have 4 matches a weekend for round 1 of the tournament. So that includes all of round 1 of singles and all of round 1 of teams. Teams is only 8 seeds, so we're not really going to dive deep into that. Pretty much the teams that are around are the ones that are playing in the tournament.
Yeah, basically.
So
your team have a win, you're probably in it.
yeah, pretty much. There's only a couple that didn't get to make it in. We're gonna have a bigger teams tournament later this year, and we'll break that down when that time comes. But to start, we are basically gonna go through all the seeds. And then we'll talk about the matchup. So the people in the tournament, starting out with number 32, we have Regev Ben Vase. He's the 32 seed, 0-1. He does own the Infinity Gauntlet. He came in second in the play-in to get this spot. And then the 31 seed, kind of going hand in hand, Brittany Tapley winning, coming in first place in that play-in. Is now the 31 seed and is 1-1. Got a win on their record for that match, and was recently just picked up by Club Dread. Yeah. So that could be very interesting. What do we think about the 32 and the 31 seed?
Good pickup for. I guess I'll start with 31 because that's the story. Brittany almost beat Mark Menchaca, who proved last year how good he is in Fandom, being nominated for Rookie of the Year and having a great teams run. He played like 4 matches in teams and he missed like 3 questions total. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah. So Brittany took him to the limit, which is impressive in its own right. And then not only did she win the 5-way, she sort of dominated it. By like question 2 or 3 in the final round, she could sort of just sit back and relax. Sure. So I definitely have my eyes on Brittany doing well in the tournament. And Regev, sort of a wild card. His first match was against someone who's also proven to be very good. Robert Kastner had one of the highest sort of accuracies in a debut match performance, and we'll talk about him later. But Regev had to do a lot to pull out that second place victory. So tough coming at the 32 seed, but anything could happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, great pickup for Club Dread and Brittany. Her geek knowledge is gross, frankly. And so she played great against Mark. She dominated that 5-way. She is the scariest 31 seed I think we've ever seen in a Fandom tournament ever. Between the two that have been 32 people. So very excited to see what she can do. And Regev is, like Nick said, a total wild card. He has the Infinity Gauntlet, people. Don't count him out.
Yeah, it's true. All right, then coming in at number 30, we have Mark Kamier with the 1-3 record. Is he in a band? Not quite sure.
He's in Club Dread. That's all we know.
He is in Club Dread. He's probably in a band. He's the 3rd seed. Then coming in at number 29, we have Mr. Zadius Smith, who's here for the entertaining matches. He's the former TV singles champ. He's 2-5, and he has a knockout, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
He's the 29 seed, and then coming in at the 28 seed spot, we have Adelaide Spence, 1-2, team partners with Mike Shea. That is what is notable for Adelaide Spence as of right now, unfortunately. But Adelaide's been doing really well recently, even in losses. Their loss against Boatman. Played very, very well. Zadius, always there to entertain. I don't think that man cares if he wins or loses, but he's putting out good matches. And then Mark Kamier played for the title 3 times in teams, has just gotten some bad luck in singles. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Koho, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, he's had a bit of bad luck, but he's one of the best Fandom players Dread has. Wouldn't necessarily count him out of this tournament at all. Zadius is one of my favorite people still kicking around from season 1. I love the man. He's so entertaining and fun in every match he's ever been in. He's also like secretly kind of good. Zadius is like got good knowledge, so I would say he's not a easy low seed to play for whoever matches up with. And Spence is someone who has gotten better in every single match. They were recently picked up by Fun DMC for a reason. They have good Fandom knowledge. They just had some tough matches. They played Boatman. They played David Garcia. They've had a string of just tough competition. But Spence definitely could be someone to look out for in this tournament.
Nick?
Yeah, let's see. I guess I'll start with Kamier because it cannot be overstated that the man has played for the team's belt 3 times.
Yeah.
They're ranked, Necronomicon ranked number 2 in the team's tournament for a reason. And something else, Mark's 3 losses are against like Jacoby, Amaru, and Rizzy, I think.
Yeah.
3 very good people who can beat most other people. So, like, don't let those 3 losses distract you, but being at the 30 seed is going to be tough for him to overcome. Zaddy, I want to play forever. He could lose the rest of his matches forever. Don't care. Want to see Zaddy keep playing.
Me too.
And Spence has a very young career, but it's promising because, like you said, Spence took Boatman to the very edge. Boatman being a former teams champion. Isn't it ironic? May not have that win yet, but they took both of the people they played who are turning out to be very good teams. They took them to the limit. So anything could happen with Spence.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to the 27 seed. We have Mike Shea. It is spelled incorrectly, Nico. I apologize. But they are team partners with Adelaide Spence. What do you know? The 26th seed is going to be Jay Burns, part of Club Dread. 3 and 5 has the same initials as James Bond. That's pretty interesting. Has also played for the team's belt 3 times. And then we have the 25 seed, newlywed Jim Green. 3 and 5 has a KO on the record. Once beat Koho. That's probably the best thing that he has on his record. Although he's also played for the team.
No one's ever seen that match, so you can't prove it. It doesn't exist anymore.
That's fair. Also has played for the team's belt twice.
My back.
What do you think about these?
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, okay. Jim, you're right. Jim did once play for the team's belt. Spend some time. So, time will tell what Jim has done. He avoided retirement, and then he lost to Jake. But I never count Jim out, but sometimes I count Jim out. We'll see what happens. Who else was up there? Mike Shea. Sort of the same story as Spence. Young career, promising, just hasn't come away with it yet. And then Jay. Jay is another person who's sort of been around forever, and we've seen him have big wins, but also big losses. So that's also sort of a coin flip for me.
I think that Mike Shea was one of the people coming out of the rookie group last year that showed a lot of promise after his debut. I think he's just had a couple of rough matches, rough goes of it. Played Antonio and Joe Fairley, which are tough follow-up matches to face. I don't think those are very indicative of his total talent or knowledge. So I wouldn't say he's like a bad low seed to play or one to count out. I think Jay's record is definitely one that's not indicative of the knowledge that this man has. He's played really, really well, especially if we go back to the last time we did a 32-person tournament. He dominated Doug Castle in the first round and lost to Tim Brzakala by 2 points in the second. It was a very close match. So Jay has played some really great people and taken them to the limit. He's beaten some really great people too. Lucas is right; he has knocked out Jay twice. But Jay is one to look out for. And I also, I have no love lost between my ex teammate. I'm kidding. Jim's good. You could say that it was this very strong back that got us to 2 teams title matches, but that would be a lie. Because Jim definitely was a good partner for me back then, definitely paired, and knows his stuff. We would not have gotten to 2 title matches if Jim did not know his stuff. So I think he is one that should not be overlooked in the first round.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on. The 24 seed from the Kingsmen, the aforementioned Kaleb Boatman, 3 and 4, the former Fandom teams champ, the former Warzone teams champ, and the former Warzone singles champion. This man one day wins the singles belt in Fandom, and he's got a lot of gold. He's definitely one to look out for. The 23 seed, Nazario Montenegro, also in the Kingsmen. I'm sorry, the Kingsmen. The 23 seed, 4 and 5. He loves Babe Pig in the City.
Yes, he does.
Big fan of that movie, Babe Pig in the City. We also have the 22 seed, Lucas Schildbach. Is definitely not in the
Kingsman. I don't know how that happened.
That was an error on our graphics.
He's an ex-Kingsman, but not currently.
He's beautiful, nonetheless. Yeah, 5 and 6, 2 KOs, former Fandom teams champion as well. Lucas is in the first order. A guy that honestly, like we said, former teams champion. The guy knows his shit, and if he puts the work in, he has the potential to go so far in Fandom, and it's shown by the fact that he just knocked out Jay Burns. He put in the work on a certain category, and it paid off for him. Real good. Nazario, same thing. Nazario's fucking great. I've told this story 1,000 times. I played Nazario in round 1 of last year's tournament, and it was the most nervous I've been for any match ever, because when Nazario is on point, he's fucking on point, and it's terrifying. And same goes for Kaleb Boatman. The man just knows things about movies. Doesn't matter if it's fandom, doesn't matter if it's regular movies, doesn't matter if it's about foreign films. I don't know. He knows things about movies. It's insane. So, Nick, what do we think about this group?
All three of them are pretty similar in my eyes. They all have one more loss than a win, but everyone's probably surprised to see them ranked in the 20s, because I look at that and I'm like, oh, that's kind of crazy thinking about all the things that each of these three people have done. Boatman. I've said this about Warzone players in general. The people who are like top tier Warzone players, if they wanted to be Fandom champions and take like a year, they probably could do it. So Boatman's always scary. Lucas has shown in the past that he can do it before now. And Nazario, I think I've said on a call earlier this year that I think Nazario and Holtzman so far this year up before the tournament have had some of the worst luck of any. Like, if you're a Nazario or a Holtzman fan, you're like, oh my gosh, you're breaking my heart, because you could have won this, but it's just the bad luck that turns it the wrong way. So Nazario is one of those people for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I've managed all three people we're about to talk about. Lucas is a great competitor. I think I don't remember if this math still checks out, but at one point he was the most accurate Wizarding World player in the history of Fandom Fights. There was a time there where he was 100%, and that was like in the end of the second season, that he just had not missed. The dude has the areas that he knows on lock, and that makes Lucas really scary. And to see him this low is kind of shocking, because he is that good. He's been the champion for a reason. He beat him to be the champion back in season 1, which is an impressive win. And then Nazario is just kind of been one of the unlucky players. He wins a couple, loses a couple, plays really hard people, plays really easy people, plays really hard people, beats really hard people, loses to hard people. He does a great job, and he's very scary, especially in tournament settings. I would not count him out as an easy round 1. And I can say that honestly, echo exactly what I just said for Kaleb Boatman. Kaleb Boatman is genuinely one of the scariest Fandom players I've seen, and that comes down to he does not purport to be a Fandom player and comes in and puts up like 9 in round 1. Like last year's tournament against Jacoby, I think he had 9 out of round 1. He was 1 away from a perfect round. He like ran his round 2. It just comes down to that betting round every time. And sometimes he flawlesses it, and sometimes the other person just gets a really lucky hit that he doesn't have in him, and it's insane. But I think Bowman is the scariest one of the lower seeds. I don't want to play Bowman around 1. I wouldn't want to play any of them, to be honest. But.
All right. Moving on, number 21, we have Nico Ragoli in the Kingsman, 6 and 7. Can confirm he is not a dragon.
Not a dragon.
Just want to get that out there. Not a dragon, Nico Ragoli, the 21 seed. The number 20 seed, wow, lots of Kingsmen here. We have Jack Pinchuk, 1-1, returning from last season. He is related to Cameron Holtzman, just so we're all clear on that. And then we have the number 19 seed. Hey, it's Brian Michaels from Club Dread. He's 1-1 in singles. He's the current Warzone teams champion. Plug for Warzone this weekend. I believe they're playing. They're playing in a title match this weekend. So what do we think about Nico, Jack, and Brian? Brian, to me, like I said, like Brian's one of those guys who, like Boatman, just knows so much about movies. He kind of thrives in just trivia in general. Jack's hit or miss because we haven't seen him in so long. Mm-hmm. What's he been doing since the play-in last year? We don't know. If he has been working, could be scary. And Nico is the same way that I think I talked about. Who did I say about this? I think it was about Jim and Koho. That they are like the itch on your back that just doesn't go away. They're just there, constantly winning matches and somehow sticking around. Nico, when he puts in the work, can thrive. We'll see if he's able to do it this year. Koho, what do you think?
When Jack Pinchuk came to me and said, hey, I want to play, first thing we were like, you got internet? We saw him on YLS. His internet is good. Or better at least. We'll see how he does. Jack was one of the most promising rookies in the first half of the year. He clearly had a lot of knowledge. He beat Amaru Moses in his debut, and then barely lost to his relative Cameron Holtzman, and then the play-in with the really bad internet kind of put him out of commission. But the ring rust could be real. It depends on. We have no idea how he's going to look. He's actually my biggest wild card of this tournament. If he shows up and is like playing great, I think Jack can go far. If he shows up and he hasn't put in a lot of the work, I think he could get bounced in round one. But Jack is one of those giant question marks for me. Brian is one of the most baffling fandom players I've ever seen because he's so damn good. And he comes in with this air of I'm going to lose every time, and I don't know where he gets it. Brian is great at Fandom and genuinely one of the scarier people in the middle tier. And I think that he can go far in this thing. Brian has a good chance to go far in this tournament. He lives in those niches of the fringe that he finds a groove, he hits it, he runs it, he does great. And Nico and I have a good old history in this league, and we finally kind of made that a full circle when he joined the faction this year. Nico in the beginning was pretty hit or miss, and last couple of years he's shown like great improvement. Last year he was one of the most improved players in Fandom, and I think he's been off. He had a little slow start playing Joe, but I think that this tournament is where he really could show up and start showing where that improvement's paid off. So I'm very excited to see what all three of these guys do this year.
Yeah, not much else to add. Brian spun opponent's choice and almost beat Google. So I will never count Brian out in terms of Fandom. And like what I said for Boatman, if Brian wanted to, he could take 6 months and become the Fandom champion. And then Nico, man, I don't know, dude. I would never place any money on Nico for or against.
Yeah,
never in my life, because who knows. And then the third one is Jack. Jack's also a wild card for me because he didn't really get a whole lot of time to show us what he can do, especially if he actually wanted to take the time to like study before a match. So I'm excited to see what Jack can do too.
All right. Next we have the 18 seed, Mr. Brooklyn Vail.
Look who's back.
1-0. He did defeat the Goatman, so that's good. We have Matthew Chen, Kingsman, 17 seed, 1-0, a part of the Squirtle squad. That is true. I forgot about that. There you go. And then we have the 16 seed. There you are, Garth. I know you said you were looking for yourself. You're the 16 seed. You're 1-0. You have a sword, and sick and tired of losing. That is what you that is what you have said to us. So, so we have Brooklyn, Matthew, Garth. These are all 1-0 players. Who fucking knows? I mean, right? If Brooklyn can get something that he's good at, I have faith that he could win him another match. Absolutely. But if Brooklyn gets something that he has no idea about, he's lost in his tracks. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see. Matthew, I just don't know enough about. He beat Andrew Barr, but the whole match as a whole, I thought was kind of, he played good. But there was nothing that like overly impressed. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do in the tournament setting. And then Garth, we've seen Garth play in other leagues and whatnot, and Garth knows his shit. But it's going to be based again, I think, on what is he spinning. That's going to be the big thing. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely some categories that would sink both Garth, Matthew, and Brooklyn. Yeah. And I think all those categories are probably different for the three of them. Yeah. I think all of their strengths like sort of lie in different places. I think Garth's biggest thing is going to be sort of taking his time, because I would wager that all of the knowledge that we could possibly ask is somewhere in Garth's head. And if Garth could just sort of take a second to find it, he could be very dangerous in this tournament. Matthew, for me, is also sort of very unknown. He's good at Pixar because when he debuted in Warzone, I was like, oh, this guy could be a good Fandom guy because he spun Pixar and did really well in it. And I know he's good at other things. And then Brooklyn, not only are there things that could sink him, but we also just haven't seen him in so long. I wonder if that's going to have an effect on how he does.
Yeah, last time we saw Brooklyn was I think last March, like right before the pandemic hit. It's been a long time since Brooklyn's played Fandom. The categories have all sort of changed a bit. I know his own personal like strengths that he's been had been working on. Some of them do not lie in the Fandom field anymore since they've been categories removed. I have no idea how he's going to do. I am personally just kind of excited to see him back in trivia. It's been a minute, so that's just kind of a nice, old familiar face for me to see from season 1. Matthew and Garth are two of the rookies from this year that put up narrow wins, but the potential is clearly there for them to be really good. Depends on how much they work on the things they need to work on. Garth pulling out that win at the very end against Bridget, and Matthew beating Bar, which Bar is another one of the Warzone people that legitimately could be a Phantom threat if he wanted to be. So I think Matthew and Garth are both pretty evenly matched in this tournament. I would be very excited to see how they do, which one comes out. They're both very solid players.
All right, now we have the number 15 seed, Jake Meltzer, part of Fun DMC, the newest faction here at Multiplex, 1-0. He did win the Warzone free-for-all this year. He's looking scary in that first match that he had. He was looking pretty spooky even over here in Fandom. Then we have the 14 seed, Mr. Mark Menchaca, part of the First Order, 1-0, best mustache in the league, hands down best mustache.
It's not a contest.
And then number 13, we have Robert Kastner, also part of Fun DMC, the 13 seed. His accuracy in Phantom is 88.89%, aka that's his accuracy from one match. I don't know
pretty gross accuracy though.
Kane got that information, but how do we feel about those three?
Kane probably calculated it on his own. He used to do it before I did. So I think that those three right there, if Mark Menchaca qualified as a rookie, that's the three that we'd be looking at as the early favorites that are contending for that Rookie of the Year title. I think Meltzer showed that he had Fandom potential when he won the Manager Bowl and then winning the Warzone free-for-all, and then in his first match, put up a really, really great showing. So I think Meltzer's going to be one that's scary and one to look out for. Mark's one to look out for too. He had one of the tougher debuts by playing Brittany, but he won that, which is like a big accomplishment with how good Brittany is too. I think Mark, that mustache just throws everyone off anyway. He walks in a room, you're just mesmerized. You can't pull the information. Mark is really good. And Kastner had the best accuracy of the bunch for a reason. He clearly knows his shit. He knows his information. I wouldn't want to play any of them in this tournament. I think they're all freaky in what they know and their areas of knowledge. I think they're all going to be very, 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 very strong contenders in running this tournament.
Yeah, no, I love it, man, because things have started to get a little stagnant, or they at least started to feel that way towards the end of last year, maybe even the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And I think these three people, especially, along with like Garth and Matthew, are showing us, and Brittany, are showing us that like changes are coming. And it's exciting to see. Jake has not been shy about the fact that he's been studying for the Fandom tournament. He's been telling a lot of people. I first met Jake in like a Wizarding World exhibition in Full Metal. And he killed it in that. So he's definitely shown that he's really good. Robert being the best of the rookie class at the moment with one match under his belt is definitely scary to see. And like we said about Mark earlier, Mark showed us last year all the potential he has and then beating Brittany. And now he knows that it's called Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. So he no weaknesses now.
Exactly. No weaknesses.
That's fair.
It's like Samson. You have to cut the mustache. It has all of his strength in it. You never do that though.
The number 12 seed is Antonio Chavez, part of the First Order, 2-1. Might be a bounty hunter. We don't know for sure.
It's classified information.
But the number 11 seed, Jake Marangoni, also in the First Order, 3-3, the former Warzone singles and teams champion. What do we think of these two guys? Nick?
They both. It's part of the same team. Jake also may be a bounty hunter. We don't know. They showed us in teams right now that they're nothing to take lightly. They came back in that match against Lights, Camera, and Action from a 9-point deficit to come back and win the match, and you have to be good in order to do that. I think both of them are a little. it's weird because Antonio's definitely young in his career in Fandom, and Jake feels like he's young in his career in Fandom. Even though he's been around from the beginning, it feels like a new Jake Marangoni in Fandom, and one that's definitely putting some effort into it. So if these two people who are part of the same team that has shown that they can do well put some work into Fandom, I could see either one of them running the tournament.
Absolutely. To bring in the much maligned sports reference, I think Jake Marangoni is on his Denver Broncos Peyton Manning run. I think he's coming back from that period of like he had his first run in Warzone being the champion, and I think now he's shifted gears. He's in Fandom, and he looks like a new Jake Marangoni, like Nick said. He played a dominant game against Dave Goodger in that retirement match. He came back. He played Jim this year and played a great game. He's the 11th seed now for a reason. Way back, he's one of the only people in this tournament that played in the original Fandom tournament, and he won his round 1 match against RJ back in that one. So, like, Jake has clearly always had it in him. Him and Rizzy made it all the way to one of the semifinals for the original teams tournaments. Has had this Fandom knowledge in him. I think now it's finally just starting to utilize for him in a way that's helping him out. And Antonio lost his debut at the end of season 2 to Mark Kameyer and like took a bit of time, went to teams, came back this year, and he's just capitalizing on it, beating Aaron Sellers and now winning his last one to become 2-1 is against Mike Shea. He looks scary. And I think both these guys have proven it, both as bounty hunters and on their own individually, that they're both hungry enough to make some decent runs to this tournament.
Absolutely. Now at number 10, we have Albert Word-Harma, part of the Kingsmen, 4-4 with a knockout. He's a fan of Jupiter Jet, apparently.
He is a fan. Big fan of Jupiter Jet.
There you go. Fair enough. Albert is spooky. I played him in Full Metal Geek. He beat me. It was that was a crazy match. He's fucking good. Just played for the team's title. Played great. Dude's scary. I love Albert. Albert's one of those people who kind of came out of nowhere for me, and he's real good. And I'm on the Albert train. I'm contractually obligated to hate the Kingsmen and everything that they do.
That's valid.
But I fucking love Albert. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, Albert already is my prediction for comeback player of the year because he ran the team's tournament last year, starts this year by playing for the team's belt, and starts in a retirement match and knocks the ever living bejesus out of Malcolm. No offense, Malcolm.
Sorry, Malcolm.
But Albert clearly showed he's here to play. So to start in a retirement match and to possibly, because if someone was to say like Nick, pick your top 5 people that you think could win the tournament, Albert would be in there. So to go from starting in a retirement match to playing for the team's belt, possibly winning the tournament, I think Albert, even if he doesn't win the tournament, could play for the belt afterwards. He's the clear choice for a comeback for me.
I think a lot of people forget about Albert's season 2 career. He started out 3-0 in his rookie season in Fandom, and I remember seeing him back then and going, "Oh, this kid's good. This kid's great." Got in round 2, barely lost to Eli McKagan, just kind of went on a spiral of just close losses, losing to RJ, and then losing to Holtzman in round 1 of last year's tournament. It was just, he played really good, got really close in singles. And I think the thing that he's been needing is that support system of people around him. And I think that he's found it. He's found his wolf pack, so to speak. And that's definitely reflected in the way he's played in Full Metal Geek, the way he's played here, the way he played last year with Big Guns, where he was just on fire the entire tournament. So I love Albert. He's one of my favorite humans. I am super excited to see him in this tournament, and I'm very excited to see what he can do. He's one of my favorites to win the whole thing.
Number 9, we have Joe Farrelly, part of the Kingsman. 3-1. He might actually be James Bond. We're not actually quite sure, but it's possible. Joe Farrelly, 1 match away from going to play for the title. Took me and Nick to the limit in teams last year. One question goes another way, and he's your team's champion right now. That dude is insane. When he puts his mind to something, my God, he's good. Joe is one of those people that, if I'm being honest, I used to not like Joe very much because, like someone else I know has once said, he was next to a garbage can for a while. But now that stank is off of him, Joe's a good fucking dude, and he's good at trivia. I could see him doing real well. And yeah, he just got married. So
Yeah, he did.
Congrats, Joe.
Sprung that on us. He was like, yeah. I'm getting married.
Yeah, it was sprung it on us. Sprung it on all of us. We were like, oh, you're like getting married. Okay,
cool. Congrats.
Good for him.
Koho, what do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Joe Fairley is a scary dude. He pushed me really, really hard in that number one contenders match. I thought I was genuinely going to lose. Playing him, he's insane. The dude's wealth of knowledge is kind of disgusting. Last year's Fandom Rookie of the Year for a reason. His performance with Wookiee Mistake in last year's tournament was dominant. Just running from 16 all the way to the title match was insane. A beautiful Cinderella story for him and David. And he's been playing great. It's carried over into this year, doing that run where he beat Nico and he beat Mike and he just almost beat me. And I think that this tournament's going to be a place where Joe could do some serious damage and go on a serious run.
Yeah. Let's see. There's one other person that I think will win the tournament, but Joe is my second pick. I think Joe could easily win. And Wookiee Mistake, which we mentioned, is coming back as the number 1 seed in the team's tournament. So I would not be shocked to see Joe possibly challenging for 2 belts at the end of the summer.
Could be at both Mayhem events, yeah.
That being said, I think Joe fell victim to Koho played a very good match. And Joe, I think, fell victim to a common mistake that everyone has made in that you pick your biggest strength, even though you haven't seen it in a while. And like he fell because he missed like 2 bond questions, which no one would ever guess. So I think that's a part of like game strategy that you have to learn. It's not just watching the movies and learning the information. So now that Joe has sort of covered that and sort of been given that lesson, I think Joe's very dangerous.
Absolutely.
All right. The number 8 seed is Kaleb Koho, part of the Kingsmen. He's 10-8. He's leader of the Kingsmen. He doesn't get to speak through this section. He can keep
Kane forgot my damn knockout. I just realized that. I knocked out Nico Swabber.
Keep it down. You're not talking about yourself. So, Nick, Kaleb Koho, kind of a douche.
Out for
but also just played for the title. Just played for the title. Had a really good showing in the title match. Did really well in round 1. Did very well in Pixar. Only let up 1 steal, I believe, and then sweeps his filmography. I think sweeps deep cuts, if I'm remembering back to that correctly, or misses 1 question, I think, and then it literally comes down to just like 1 or 2 questions in the betting round, which is kind of what always happens. But yeah, Kaleb Koho, what do you think?
Whoever gets to play him, congratulations.
This is weird.
Congratulations, you have a bye first round. Whoever gets to play Koho, so well done. No, if I'm being honest, before this last match against Scully, which made me sick to my stomach, Koho took me the farthest twice. Not only in the title match, but also in last year's tournament. Koho makes anyone he plays nervous. This is weird. Put Koho backstage. Compliment. No. Koho makes whoever he plays nervous. Because he's good. He's good. He's been doing this for a while. It'd be a lie to say he's not good. It'd be a lie to say that he couldn't beat anyone on a good day. That being said, is it going to be a good day? Because on Koho's bad days, me being honest, it doesn't work out for him. He had a very good day against Joe. I think if he had a better day against me, he could have been the champion right now. Yeah. Hopefully that's something he's learned and can take into the tournament, because if he does, he could take it all the way.
Absolutely. All right, now you can be back. The number 7 seed, Cameron Holtzman, fucking Kings, and okay. He's 4-3. He's known for his role as the Beast, and I didn't know that he played Scuttle. But
you know all those thumbnail photos that Kane uses where he's got a thing on his head. Yeah, it's Scuttle.
Oh, he's Scuttle in that. Oh, I knew he was the Beast because we've bonded over that. Yeah, Cameron Holtzman, like Koho was saying, or like Nick was saying earlier. Right now is having maybe the worst luck, but as Cody has said, is probably the best Warzone fandom crossover player we have, period. The dude's really good at both. It's kind of scary, actually. I'm kind of jealous of it, but Holtzman's real good. He's the 7 seed for a reason. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that, because that's what I was going to say too. I think I think I can't quite think of a third, but I think it's Cameron Holtzman and then Tyler Butler and then maybe someone third as far as like being good in both divisions. And Holtzman is really not even close for me. I think he's definitely the best at being in both divisions. Unfortunately, I think he leans more Warzone. If he can lean hard into Fandom, Holtzman could take the tournament. I know I'm starting to sound repetitive, but Holtzman, I truly believe, could be challenging for both Fandom belts, especially with like taking on Redshaw and literally making the run that Lights Camera Action made has been one of the most impressive things. The fact that he almost won the free for all, the fact that he's almost there. He barely lost the Bounty Hunters. Could have been challenging for the Thieves belt. Like I said, Holtzman and Nazario to me are the people that if you're a fan of them, your heart's breaking because they're just getting bad luck, bad shake after bad shake. And I hope it ends for both of them going to the tournament.
Yeah, Cameron Holtzman, I would say, is absolutely the best 50-50 player I've ever seen. The dude is great. It does great job in both divisions. He kind of built a career in Fandom on the niche of he almost exclusively runs Fringe and runs Disney and like runs the things that he knows, that he loves, that he like just the things that people don't generally like or run as strengths. He runs them, and it ends up taking a lot of great players down. It took down RJ earlier. He's just like kind of gone on this tear and made this sort of in Lights Camera Action just does that on a double scale between the two of them. Like, look, they fucking beat me in Scully. That still hurts. But Cameron Holtzman is one of the players I am definitely looking out for in this tournament. He's lethal, and I think that he's going to upset a lot of brackets.
All right.
Oh wait, quick, because we're not talking about like teams very much, but it'd be remiss to mention that round one matchup for Lights Camera Action will once again be the Manhattan Project. So
yep, Lights Camera Action Manhattan Project 2 in round one. I'm excited to die again.
The number 6 seed, RJ. His real name is Rene Villarreal Jr., but I'm terrible at saying that. He's 12-8. The man's insane. Was that Brad Burton? Fuck you, RJ. You knew the answer.
He knows it.
He always does this. He's played for the belt before. The dude's insane. He's said it since the beginning of last season. This is his last season. So it'll be interesting to see what RJ can do one last time in this season, in this tournament. What do you think, Koho?
Yeah, he said it last year very early on, which kind of has given me the year to sort of prepare for the fact that we're about to lose one of the best Fandom players. We're about to lose RJ, who has had a great career in Fandom fights this season and over the course of all of it. Yeah, RJ coming back for his 4th consecutive Fandom Fight singles tournament in the Summer Series tournament. Not a lot of people can say they played in all 4. He can say he's done it. And I think that he's going to I think he's looking to make a farewell run one last time through the tournament, see what he can do. I mean, the dude's played for the Fandom singles title. He beat Rizzy to get there. He played Robert Parker. It was actually a really good game. So I think RJ. I think this is. I think this could be RJ's like farewell run that like could remind us all once and for all. Like RJ is definitely one of the best people we've had in the division. So
yeah, I remember last year when like it was like Amaru and Tyler Butler were the two like front runners for Rookie of the Year, and RJ always being ranked because he has the most wins of anyone in the division ever, and always higher ranked because he has the record to back it up. And obviously the like challenging for titles and things like that. And yet last year, everyone was still kind of like, RJ's the underdog, ranked at like 2 or 3 or something like that. It was like Amaru's like on this hot new rookie. Amaru's going to beat RJ. RJ beat Amaru. Everyone was like, okay, he didn't beat Amaru, but like Tyler's this hot new rookie who like just beat Nico. He's going to beat RJ. RJ beats Tyler. So no matter how many people think of RJ as an underdog, he continuously defies that, and I don't think of him as that anymore. I see him as a person that could go very far in the tournament, especially if it's on his way out. What more dangerous thing can you think of than a man without a care in the world?
Yeah,
that's fair.
Lloyd the damn Moose.
Yeah, I believe he's now an MD. So the 5 seed is the aforementioned Tyler Butler, part of the First Order. He's 5-3. He does have a cool doggo.
He's a good boy.
Yeah. Maggie, what's the dog's name? what's Tyler and Kate's dog's name? Bo. That's right. Bo just had surgery, so pray for Bo, but he's doing well. Tyler just lost in the number 1 contenders match to Scully. He beat Cameron Holtzman to get there, and he just played for the team's belt. The dude is on fire right now. He had a rough game against Scully, but if that lights a fire under his ass, he's going to be dangerous. What do we think, Nick?
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing about Tyler is very good at strengths that many other people aren't good at, and that's a very good weapon to have in your arsenal when you sort of go into this tournament, because a lot of people will be spending this time trying to get good at the things that Tyler is already very good at. He didn't have the best showing against Scully. He's going to have to play better than he played against Scully if he wants to make it to the end of this tournament, and he knows that. And I think he'll do the work to get there. But like you said, he just almost challenged for the singles title. He just challenged for the team's title and played very well.
Great showing in that match.
Fantastic. And the dude is, like I said, right under Holtzman. I think he has the edge on Holtzman in Fandom. Obviously, he's ranked higher and he's beaten Holtzman. The two of them are so similar to me. But I think he is like the second best person at playing in both divisions.
Tyler for a long time in last year's run for me was the rookie of the year. I think he's had great performance after great performance in a lot of his matches, and every time he loses, it's because he comes close or he has a bad day. And I think that last year's tournament, he played another sudden death game and then barely lost to RJ. And then now that he's back, I think 32 people is actually going to be a setting that I think Tyler's going to have a good time in, because it's more room. You get more of a runway in 32 people. I think that's going to work in Tyler's favor. He's a very knowledgeable player. He, for a long time, had one of the best accuracies in the history of Fandom. I still think he's got a very, very high accuracy in Fandom, and that shows that he knows a lot. And I think that's going to make him very dangerous in this tournament.
All right, the number 4 seed is the former champ, Dominic Rizzi. He's 10-6. The man knows things, and he also doesn't know things. And one of those people who will come in and impress, and then go on a 3-game losing streak. So it's just like, he's such a wild card these days, but he's the 4 seed for a reason. I think the dude has the knowledge to back it up, and he's playing at a really high level. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. He's taken out a lot of people. Nick, what do you think?
Koho said that Jack was his biggest wild card in this tournament. For me, it's Dominic Rizzi. Because on a very good day, Dominic Rizzi can beat Thomas Scully, can beat Tim Brzakala. On a very bad day, Scully could lose to, I'm not going to say anyone to avoid hurting feelings. Someone who's not very good. So Rizzi could lose in round 1, or Rizzi could win the tournament and become the champion. I literally have no idea. It depends. And I don't even know what to look for to have an idea. So I have nothing else to say other than, Rizzi, I'll either see you at the end of the tournament or you'll be out in round 1. I don't think there's anything in between.
Dominic Rizzi is one of the largest question marks I've ever had in the history of Fandom. He came out in the first season, got all the way into a triple threat number 1 contenders match, barely lost, and then he came back and dominated up in that tournament until he ran into the Macaw, and then he came back in a number 1 contenders match, lost, and then won the freaking title, and then went on lost the title, won the first match, and went on the biggest losing streak of his career. So Rizzi could either be out for blood looking to prove something that we don't know, or he's going to be Rizzi about it, walk in, calm, and that'll either work in his favor or work against him. I can't pick Rizzi to win the whole thing, but I can definitely say that Rizzi's making it to probably the 3rd round of this tournament. In 32 people, he's got a history of making it at least making a decent bit of headway into it. So Rizzi's the 4th seed for a reason. He's been the champ. I can't entirely count him out, and I can't entirely count for him, but Rizzi is someone to look out for.
All right. Let's move on and bye.
All right. Drop him out of the call. All right, Nick. We got Tim Brzakala, first order 3 seed. He's 11-6 with a knockout. The 2-time Fandom Teams champion, the FANZONE debate champion, and the 2021 Fandom Free for All winner. He also has the best curls in the business. Just a beautiful lock, beautiful head of hair. I love him. Look,
he sucks.
He's an asshole. Tim Brzakala. Honestly, Tim is one of those people that I think the bill's been due for a really long time for Tim to be the singles champion. He's always gotten really close, and like he got close with Rizzy, barely lost. He got really close against Robert, barely lost. He got really close with you, barely lost. Tim is someone that honestly should have been champion in the singles division like 8 times over for me. He's one of the best to ever play this game for a reason. And I definitely think that he is going to be very, 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 very lethal in this tournament and make it very far. He's one, if you're betting Vegas money, if you're going to bet Vegas money, Tim is one of the people that you should put money on because he usually makes it to the finals of these things because he watches these movies like it's his job, and that is terrifying. So, but you of course know the man a little bit more intimately, teammate wise, or the joke. I think you two love each other more than Maggie and Tim love each other at this point.
He's a big fan of Judy Hoops.
He is a big fan of Judy Hoops.
Big Judy Hoops guy. I said Joe is my number 2 pick. Tim is my number 1, unless there's a little something. Tim's got a title match in his back pocket.
It's true.
I worry, since he's not on call right now, I worry that might go to his head. And he might say, if I lose in the tournament, I'll just challenge with the whatever. And I'm like, no, Tim.
Could get a little complacent.
Fight, win. I don't think, I think he will fight, and I think he will win. Other than last year, where he made it to the finals of the tournament and was beaten by a loser, he won the tournament before that. So he's only ever lost once in
the singles tournament, yeah.
In the singles tournament.
We can't discount that 7-0 run he went on in season 2 also. Like, the dude is scary.
He's got a track record. I agree. He probably should have been the singles champion at some point by now. If not, he will be in the future. Yeah. Has a title shot in his back pocket. And yeah, that's a scary person to run into. I think Tim is my number 1 choice to win the tournament. And we'll see.
Absolutely. Now we're going to move on to the next person.
The next person is the, oh, God, where did I go?
I don't know where you went. I was going to say.
The number 2 seed, Kane McMillan. He's back. He's 6-3. He's got 2 knockouts. He's a Disney shill.
And a recent development, a pickup for the Kingsman. So Kane has joined our rank.
I'm going to take you out because that's some bullshit. Kane coming in, being back, is a wild card. We can say that he's the number 2 seed because his record shows that and proves that, but he didn't play in 2020. The last time the man played was in 2019 when he beat Koho, and that was the last time he played. And I know that because I wrote that match in a night and shot it later that night on the request of the 2 at the time Fandom showrunners. So that's why I know that for a fact. But you know, if it's going to be interesting, the game has changed so much since he's been here. We just don't know. I'm not going to count him out. I love the man. I think he's great. It's really going to come down to, has he been putting in work?
Absolutely. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, we all know that there are 2 kinds of players. One being like and one being like Koho, and that's all.
That hasn't aired yet.
I agree. That's why. That's all I'll say. Kane's also big. Rizzy's still the big wild card for me, but Kane is definitely like top 3 because what has he been doing since he last played? 4 of the categories he was used to are gone, and 4 new ones are in. I don't know if that helps him or hurts him. Being the number 2 seed is definitely going to be a big help, I think, in getting him past that first round. But it also could be a curse. Who knows? It's all unknown to me. Last time Kane played was before I even played, before I had even debuted. So yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Koho, I think you probably know more than me.
Kane McMillan messaged me late last year, beginning of this year, and said, "Oh, free for all. Can I play? We said collectively, like, sure. Put him in. He'll have fun. He came in the first round and didn't put up a point.
Number one. He got one.
He got one. Oh, he got one. But he came in the first round and definitely underperformed. And I got a message as soon as he left that said, what can I play next? I'm ready. So I think that was the Kane wake up call that he needed to put in work. I remember the name Kane McMillan was said recently, and I heard a couple people go, "Who is that?" And me and my brain cringed at the people don't remember Kane, which is so weird when we're playing the format he created. So it's like kind of a weird thing. But I think Kane coming back, me as just like a fan of the man Kane McMillan, is very excited to see Kane back in action. Ring rust is a very real thing in this game. It is absolutely a thing. Don't let anyone ever tell you different. And I think that is going to come into play in this game. How much of it does he have? How much of it has he shaken off? He's playing a very tough round one match with Brittany. So I think the number 2 seed could normally help. This year might actually hurt. Kane is I think Kane is the one where either he's going to win the whole fucking tournament or he's going out round 1. And I think that's the level of Kane that we have. When Kane played, he was on fire. He was on point. He only lost to Maggie, I think, by a point or 2 in the semis. He's kind of been one of the best to play the game. And now having him come back, it feels like Brett Favre coming back to the game after so many years. And we'll see how he does. I'm very excited to see how he does. He is I will say he is my biggest wild card in the entire tournament, depending on his performance from round 1.
Kane, if you're watching, your check should be in the mail very soon from Kaleb Koho. Okay, let's go to... No, you're fine.
I was going to say that regardless of the Kingsman pickup or not, because that wasn't official till like 40
No, I know. And spoiler alert for the team's title match there the other night, but we've already said it 1,000 times. Thomas Scully is the number 1 seed from the Kingsman, 8-4, 1 knockout, the former singles champ, the former teams champ. He is going to be the number 1 seed, playing the number 32 seed. I don't have much to say about Scully because I've said it all already. One of the best to ever play the game. Very deserving champ when he got it. And has been a great player ever since. Barely lost to TWOHIG over the weekend. Yeah. That was like as close as matches come. 1 point. So, that's he's going to tear through the tournament, I think. Obviously, my choice to win the tournament selfishly is myself. But if I had to put money on another person, I would put it on Scully because, he's just that good. The showrunner in me, though, wants to see somebody new get there, but I think Scully's going to tear through the tournament. Nick, what about you?
Regev will win by knockout.
It's possible. Nothing's impossible.
Weirder things have happened in Fandom.
Regev, if you're in the chat, because I saw you earlier, you got some work ahead of you. I think you could do it if you put in the work, but you got some work ahead of you because you are playing one of the best to play the game in Thomas Scully. Not only the former singles champ, he was the second person after Robert Parker to be a double belted champ. Yeah. The dude's insane. I told him in my post match for this title match that just happened, he could probably take like a month off and get through like 3 rounds without doing anything, just based on what he knows already. Thomas Scully is very scary. I said I think Tim's my number 1. I think Joe's my number 2, and I think that's probably also because the showrunner in me wants someone new to get there, and I think Joe could do it. Scully's easily the number 3, if not the number 1, if I admit that I'm lying to myself. I think Scully's going to tear through people, and if you're in his way, please do the work. Try and beat the man, because I don't want anyone to just lay down and give him the finals. But I think he could get there anyway.
I have 4 schools of thought about the man that is Thomas Scully. The showrunner in me knows that he's one. If we ever made a Fandom Mount Rushmore, the man's on it. He's one of the best to play Fandom fights, and that's a reason. There's a reason for that. There's a reason he's the 1 seed here. He's great. He's my pick to win the tournament. I think that Thomas Scully as a friend, manager, and teammate, is going to win the whole thing, and it's not going to be close, and we're going to get TWOHIG'S Scully 4. Me as the showrunner thinks he's got his work ahead of him with several players that he's going to face. But I think that we're in a position where Scully is going to be one of the more overwhelming favorites to make it at least to the semis. And I think that he's probably going to destroy this tournament and do really well. And of course, the manager and me heard in the promo video, I said the multiplex, the mayhem at the multiplex is going to be Scully TWOHIG 4. I believe that's probably what will happen. The showrunner and me, of course, would love to see something different happen. But I think that Scully is the one to beat right now in this tournament. So anyone watching this and you are offended by anything I say, Kaleb Boatman coined the term. I use it all the time now. Prove me wrong. Just prove me wrong. So
did Kaleb Boatman coin that?
That's a term that people use, my friend.
I mean, Boatman was the one who started saying it around me, so I was like, sure, prove me wrong. I gave Boatman the credit because I got it from Boatman. But yes, just prove me wrong.
So we don't have time to go through match by match, but this is your Fandom Fights bracket. We will post this in the Facebook group, so if you guys want to make your own bracket, congratulations. If you win the bracket, if you predict every single thing correctly, Tim Brzakala, will send you a $20 Wendy's gift card. You think I'm joking? As Kaleb Boatman coined, prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong.
You send me a bracket that works out match for match, winner for winner, the whole tournament, and you send it to me by the end of the weekend, and it's correct by the end of the tournament, I will send you a $20 Wendy's gift card. It's happening. Or a fast food establishment of your choice. It's going down. But you have to be every single match correct. Boys, before we sign off, just want a reminder, go watch YLS. YLS is starting in about 15 minutes, top 100. So please head over there to watch that. But Koho, any final thoughts?
This is my favorite time of year set up top. It's because anything can happen. We've had crazy matchups and great matches come out of these tournaments. Watch them, make the brackets, get involved, because this is the most fun thing that we could do is tournament time, is when you have the seeds, you have the people that you're rooting for, you make your predictions, you and your friends get in pools, fill out the bracket, make predictions, do that. It's the fun thing, and share them with us, because I get a kick out of seeing interaction on these things. So enjoy the tournament, watch the tournament, both of them, the singles tournament, the teams tournament. It's going to be a lot of great matches and crazy upsets.
Nick?
Ditto.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for us. We will see you very soon this weekend with the start of the tournament. We're going to roll that promo one more time because Kane put a lot of work into it, and it's
a beautiful video.
So we're going to roll that one more time. But again, remember, go watch YLS. It's starting in about 15 minutes. You're going to want to see the top 100 continue to explode. And title matches in Warzone this weekend, singles and teams, Ginyu Force versus Wild Stallions, and Andrew Barr, the champion in singles, versus Michael Campbell. And then, like I said, our tournament beginning. So we'll see you guys real soon. Go watch YLS. We'll see you later. Welcome to the 2021 Fandom Fights Summer Series Tournament.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun in the tournament. And again, the Kingsmen will all into the tournament, and the same people that win the tournament every year will be the same people because the first order wins the Fandom tournament every year. So,
Antonio.
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
We'll go to Tim first.
Star Wars Episode 8, the last go.
I said Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master.
And your winner, Tyler Butler, Mark Menchaca, Antonio Chavez, Jake Marangoni,
Tim the Hulk Brzakala.
Look, we have the biggest roster of talented people that we've ever had in the history of the Kingsmen. You got Joe Barely, you got Cameron Holtzman, you got Kaleb Boatman, you got Thomas Scully, you got everyone in this faction. And we're all here with one goal: take the belt from TWOHIG.
And this just means Scully gets to go into this tournament, beat a lot of people, and we'll come right back. Right. And Mayhem will be Scully TWOHIG 4, and we'll see if we win it this time.
we will see you in the tournament. Is there anybody that you hope to kind of like meet up with in the tournament? Is there anybody? I know last time you didn't know a lot of names or anything. Have you brushed up on anything? You know anybody you want to play?
There's a few people, but honestly, the only people I know are really, really good, so I don't really know if I want to meet them. I'm going to be meeting them anyway, because I'm playing, like, what, the second-ranked person?
We'll be playing the number 2 seed.
Your winner by way of knockout, hey, the Hurricane McMillan. It is Jerry Goldsmith, another knockout for Kay McMillan this season. He is terrifying for the plugin.
We're back to the workout room, got a fucking Rocky montage away to get away with the tournament.
Reality can do whatever I want.
Fantastic beasts and where to find them.
Gotham City?
Is it Sam Smith?
Capture the flag.
Because you know what's the most important thing to me, and that's that I make sure that this match is one of the most entertaining matches that you will ever see. Because I do it all for you.